Welcome back to Fitz-Psg. Today we're going to take an in-depth look at year one for the Nintendo Switch. Now if you're new to the channel, maybe think about hitting that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can keep up to date with all of my latest videos. Where does the time go? Can you believe that we are only mere days away from March 3rd, which marks the 1-year anniversary of the Nintendo Switch? It feels like just yesterday all of the local gamers were trampling over each other just to get their hands on this handheld hybrid console. I felt like this would be a good time to take a look at the Nintendo Switch and see how it has developed during this first year and how it compares to the Wii U, the system that Nintendo so desperately wants you to forget ever existed. To start things off, let's take a look at the hardware side of things. Now, Nintendo desperately needed to hit a home run with the Switch after the Wii U failed so miserably. In the 5 years that the Wii U was on the market, it only sold roughly 13.5 million units. Now, that's not going to win any awards, but the numbers actually sound pretty impressive compared to Nintendo's biggest blunder, the Virtual Boy. That system amassed a mere 22 games and was only on the market 7 months. Now that was because it only sold a lackluster 800,000 units. So how does the Switch compare to all of those? Actually quite well. Now the Nintendo Switch in its first year has already sold roughly 15 million units, more than the Wii U managed to sell in its entire 5-year lifespan. Now this was a great turnaround for Nintendo, and one that it desperately needed after the Wii U failed to live up to such lofty goals set by the company after the success of the Wii. Now the big question is, why is the Nintendo Switch selling so well while the Wii U flopped harder than an NBA ball player? I believe there's multiple reasons, but the main reason is going to be marketing. Unfortunately, parents just didn't know what the heck the difference was between the Wii and the Wii U. Most assumed it was just a glorified peripheral for a device they had already bought, little Johnny, and they refused to spend any more money on this tablet that looked like a glorified iPad. Now, there wasn't much in terms of games either. Now, the first-party titles that were there are great. That's never a problem for Nintendo. Now the problem was the development for this system was extremely complicated, and it turned a lot of third-party developers away. Unfortunately, that means there weren't many games other than what Big N put out, but we'll get onto that a little bit more later. Retailers are still having issues keeping this hot ticket item in stock. Now the Nintendo Switch has something that the Wii U lacked throughout its entire lifespan, and that's games. Now Nintendo came out swinging this generation with one of the most highly anticipated games, Zelda Breath of the Wild. 7 months later, they followed up with Super Mario Odyssey. Now they didn't rest with just those two IPs. They released a few more first-party titles that were quite great as well. We have ARMS, Xenosaga, and Splatoon 2. Outstanding first-party titles isn't exactly anything new for Nintendo. They've always had a blind spot for outside devs. Even with a notoriously bad track record for playing nice with others, the third-party support that Nintendo Switch has received has been impressive to say the least, and is hopefully a great sign of things to come. They've already had great titles such as Doom, Skyrim, and Minecraft ported to the system, and they have all looked and played great on the handheld console. Hopefully this is a sign of great things to come for Nintendo, and we get continued support from other developers. In addition, the indie representation on the console has been phenomenal. The staggering number of indies, or nindies, I see what you did there Nintendo, seems to grow on what is a daily basis. Now this has introduced thousands of gamers to games that they may have never played before, and an area that Nintendo, up until now, completely ignored. But what else is helping the system sell so well? I feel the versatility of how and where you can play your library of games has made this the most accessible console to date. There are 3 main modes for the console. You can use it in either docked, handheld, or portable mode. each offering a unique way to play the console. I personally use my Switch almost entirely in handheld mode, much like the 3DS. This allows me the flexibility to take my system wherever I go and still enjoy my library no matter where I am. You, however, may enjoy sitting on the couch after a long day of work and would prefer using the console in docked mode. The great thing about the Nintendo Switch is there's really no wrong way to play the console. It'll bend to any play style. And that's really the great thing about the Nintendo Switch. It has opened up the door to many different people that may have never picked up a console before. When all's said and done, how would I rate the first year for the Nintendo Switch? I'd have to give the console a solid A. Now, is the system perfect? The short answer is easy. No, it's not. There are some minor flaws with the system that I'm going to address in a future video. But overall, none of those flaws detract from the enjoyment that I had with the system overall. In the first year alone, they have given us 2 strong Game of the Year contenders. They've brought indie games to the forefront, and they've also had multiple third-party developers bring in their titles over to the Switch. I'd say it's been a highly successful year, and I look forward to seeing what they do in 2018. If you have a Nintendo Switch, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think of the system, maybe what your favorite game is. I look forward to hearing from you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time guys, I'll catch you back on the next episode on Fitz-Psg.